hodl that Bitcoin.
Venezuela, that's happening right now.
Yep.
And they're going to
Argentina is starting to happen too.
Dash copy called the Petro, which is basically literally Dash.
I saw that today. I
didn't know that. Is that Petro is literally Dash? Okay.
Basically, you know how like Tron got yelled at for copying a white paper?
Yeah.
Venezuela just copied the whole thing. They're like, white paper? Nah, we're taking.
They didn't even merge different parts. They just did one.
The best part is that the Dash people kept on being like, "We're doing such great work in Venezuela." Well, yeah, there you go. You've just created the Petro.
Currency.
Yeah, that was a topic that I was going to bring up. Actually, was the petrodollar, man. And
let's do it.
Yeah, let's jump into it.
All right, so I actually had Jim Willie on my show. What was it, a couple of days ago, and we talked about it. And he told me, I didn't know this, but so the Petro is supposedly backed by crude oil, right? They
right.
Like a basket is crude oil and then some mixture of precious metals, right? So he told me that they don't even like the crude that Venezuela has is called it's called heavy crude. It's not light. It's not light crude. So it takes a lot of refining to do. So they have to get that from like China or somewhere. So they don't even have the necessary oil to really back it. It's not like it's being backed by their internal oil supply. So I was like, are you serious? So I think, what do you guys think about this whole Petro? Will it work? I think it's a great step in the right direction, but I think they're going to fail. But I'm loving it. I'm loving it. They're trying to get around these sanctions that the U.S. Has placed on them. And what are your thoughts?
I'm kind of the opposite, to tell you the truth.
Really?
Yeah. So what they've done, from my understanding, is the Petro is pegged to the still unearthed oil reserves that are under the ground that they don't have any infrastructure to actually pull out of the ground.
Correct. That's what Jim Willie was saying.
Yeah, and then they're issuing a currency on top that is pegged to the Petro. So they now have two mechanisms through which they can continue to inflate the hell out of their currency. So I
didn't hear about that. I didn't hear about the currency on top of it.
Yeah, so they've got another currency pegged to the Petro, so they could inflate that, and they could more or less, like, it sounds like I imagine they'll have control over most of the master nodes for the Petro.
It's all centralized. Yeah, it's no decentralized nodes at all. So they could, yeah.
Yeah, and not only that, you don't even really know, like, are those oil reserves really there? And they'll probably never be pulled out of the ground ever. So, like, if you're the end user holding the fiat currency that you have that's pegged to the Petro, that's pegged to these oil reserves, that oil will never be obtained to actually back the currency on those other two.
You know what that sounds like to me?
What?
A crypto scam?
Yeah, sounds like a scam. Like it actually sounds like the same thing that led us to the subprime housing.
Yeah, COMEX. Yeah, the whole COMEX thing.
You're packaging. The biggest problem with fractional reserve banking is so much of the money that is being created out of a promise to pay, right? So I had a bunch of money. You guys each gave me $100. I had this $100, and now I'm going to loan out 10 times the amount that you guys gave me. All I have is $300, right? But I'm going to loan out $3,000 to everybody else. And then I've got contracts that say they're going to pay. So now I'm going to go and I'm going to sell this you should invest in my company because I have all these people that are going to pay me over the next 30 years and I'm guaranteed to make money. Well, what happens when those people default on those loans, right? Just like what happens when they never pull that oil out of the ground, or that they don't have the infrastructure to refine it, or, you know what I mean? Like, you're backing stuff with empty promises, which is what our entire financial system is built on right now. It's all
that's a great point. Yeah.
You know, people think crypto is volatile. The United States economy is such a house of cards. It's just that most people don't have the financial savvy to really look behind the curtain and go, oh yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Or they don't want it.
It's rehypothecation is the name of it. But what you were saying, you have $300, you lend out $3,000. Well, those people now have that contract that promises that you are going to give them that money. They can then lend out the contract to another person And
exactly the problem. Now you see the problem. That is exactly the problem.
So from $300, you have all these people reload. It's insane how quickly, and like any peg, like let's say you default, all of that comes tumbling down.
Yes.
Fractional crypto reserve, huh? We're just doing the whole. I say we're doing this the same thing, the old thing in a new way, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's the human nature. You can't really change human nature. And
I guess my thing is, I was just more so kind of excited to see a country kind of at least take a step toward, like a crypto something. You know what I mean? Like I don't think
Estonia was doing it as well, and like the European Union
shut that down. Yeah, Draghi shut that down.
Yeah.
I remember that.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Do you guys enjoy my content? If so, there's 2 easy things that you can do to make sure you always know when stuff comes out. Number 1, of course, hit that subscribe button. Number 2, hit that little bell icon right next to the subscribe button so that you make sure you turn on notifications every time I put out new content. Now, onto the video.
Well, I think that the issue is, like, in theory, it sounds great. We have a country moving to crypto. However, it's a giant crypto scam. So it actually,
we got BitConnect 2.0.
right?
Pretty much.
it's Venezuelan, so it must be Bitconecta,
Right.
So we've got this country coming into crypto, and it's going to be a scam. It already is a scam. It's going to end badly. And even though it seems like a step in the right direction, is it actually a step in the wrong direction? Because what's going to happen when the house of cards comes tumbling down? What are the people who are already skeptical about crypto going to say about crypto at that point? And I would like to point out that I do have a good friend who lives in Venezuela, Javier Bastardo on Twitter. He's in a little group that I'm in, and we got to know each other pretty well. And here's the really beautiful thing about this, though. All of the people in Venezuela realize it's a scam. So it's not like the people in Venezuela are like, oh, sure, we'll go with this. I mean, they don't have a lot of other options due to the hyperinflation and things going on right now, other than to, try to buy Nano or Dash on the black market for some eggs, which a lot of them are doing. At least they recognize this. And it's not one of these situations where we see sometimes, like in North Korea, where it seems like people don't even really understand what's going on in the rest of the world. At least they're kind of aware of this. And, I don't know if they'll be able to prevent some kind of disaster from happening, but the whole country is pretty much a disaster right now. I mean, you got military people killing people in the streets and all kinds of stuff. So it's just a bad situation down there.
It's a nightmare. You got to take wheelbarrows full of cash to get a loaf of bread.
Yeah.
So Bitboy, what's the word on Dash down there? How's that coming along? I've been wanting to ask people.
Yeah, well, I mean, Dash and Nano both are making strides down there. And, both of those communities are behind it. But I will say that Javier, I believe he did say that Nano was one that people were using down there. Obviously, it's fast, it's feeless, and when you're looking at sending value, and I can't remember how many nanos it cost them to get a carton of eggs. I did know it a couple weeks ago when I reported on it. But like take a Bitcoin or take a Coinbase fee, for instance. Like a Coinbase fee for to buy or sell on there. It's a pretty significant amount when you're talking about you have hardly any money at all.
Right.
So, if you pull out $1,000 out of your Coinbase account and they charge you, $20 or whatever, like, yeah, it kind of hurts. But when you're talking about every penny down there is precious, then anything that's feeless is going to be good. So, and then Dash also is Dash feeless or has super low fees? I can't remember which it has.
Pretty low fees.
But it's quick. It's quick too.
Very quick. Yeah.
Well, and it's a privacy coin, which I think is probably what they're.
Well,
yeah. Hey, I should have said it's a privacy.
It's a privacy coin.
We know
it has some fake privacy options on it, but
well, I mean, if for any of you guys who don't watch my channel, no, I'm Mr. Monero fan. So like,
I'm
a starts. I'm like, yeah, cool. But ring signatures, I think, are the best.
Like Enigma. Enigma is another one I kind of like.
But that's why we all were at the Litecoin Summit, right? And that's one of my gripes with Litecoin is that I like what I see Dash doing, what I see Digibyte doing, going down there to those countries where there's the need for cryptocurrencies are at max. Like, I don't see that happening with like Litecoin. What do you guys feel about that? Is that something that
there's a lot of companies that have talked a lot of bullshit. Pardon me. I hope we can swear on this stream, but they have talked a lot of BS about banking the unbanked. If I hear one more crypto come out and talk about banking the unbanked and not go to places like Venezuela and not go to Nigeria and not
right,
money grab, scam, cash grab. There's so many things that are just like they write a nice big white paper that's got this great idea in it and all these humanitarian and idealistic things so that they get people like me who are like, yeah, making the world more fair is a good thing. And then a bunch of people invest in the project and they just really had no plans to deliver.
Oh, I'm definitely more for meme the unmemed. That's the one.
Yeah.
Meme the unmemed.
That is a very important question.
I think Crypto Love put it best, like, adoption with crypto is going to come from the bottom up, not the top down. So that's why I think it's very important that these projects start there, start at the bottom, start where the country's fiat systems are in hyperinflation mode. And then that's how you really get adoption, man. In my opinion.
And actually go there. Like, why tell us about it? Tell the people there about it, right? So, like, if your white paper reads like a Habitat for Humanity ad on TV, then there's a problem, right?
My poor family.
Yeah, right. For just Satoshis a day.
Sarah McLachlan playing in the background.
Dude, don't hit me with that Sarah McLachlan pet ad.
Oh, man. So baby with the flies on their belly. Yeah, I know. Bad.
Oh man.
But seriously, right? I mean, I've had a lot of I haven't had a lot to say about Dash, but it's not been one that I've historically been like, great, or I haven't been very vocal about it at all. But I do respect the fact that they are down there actually.
Yeah, me too, man.
Like that's they see the need and are actually taking action.
Digibyte too. Don't forget the Digibyte team.
You just got 100 likes on your video.
I can't forget them. My Twitter feed is
big shout out Digibyte.